So what I'd like to do is kind of flip through and talk about the idea of vision and and what we're doing here to create a vision for 2021 and on and beyond. 2020 reshaped some things in how we think and how we manage our businesses. So what I'd like to do is throw this out there for you and start thinking about what vision really means. So I am Skot Waldron. I have been a brand strategist and now working mostly with internal communication, helping teams, helping leaders build their own brands inside of organizations. That's through effective communication and culture development, organizational health, using data-driven people development. Monitoring that data and making sure we're making progress. I've been doing this now for about 18, 19 years. I speak, I'm a teacher, and I've been working with a lot of clients over my career. Some of them you see here. If you want to get in touch with me, you can go to skotwaldron.com. Find me on Instagram, and LinkedIn is where I am most of the time. I would love to connect with you there as well. So let me just make sure everything's still good, and we're gonna roll. All right. So vision. What is a vision? So a vision is the act or power of seeing. That is the actual definition of the word vision. It's the act or the power of seeing. So the way I want you to think about this, though, is I want you to think about maybe it's kind of these things, right? When we're talking about big picture vision, what we're really talking about is the act or power of seeing, right? Of conceiving, the act or power of dreaming, the act or power of fantasizing, ideating, imagining, picturing, the act or power of visualizing. So we talk about the literal idea of seeing something, sure, right? That's what it is, as vision. I have, vision, 2020 vision, whatever. But really, what a vision statement, what a vision creates is all these things: conceiving, dreaming, fantasizing, ideating, imagining, picturing, visualizing. That's what I want you to think about when you're creating a vision statement for yourself or your company. Because frankly, most vision statements are worthless. And I say that because it's true. A lot of vision statements are just empty corporate jargon that was created by 100 people or maybe one person that doesn't mean a lot to the masses or to the soul of who we are as a brand. So what I want you to do is also think about this. Have you ever read a vision statement that sounds like this? We want to be the leading supplier of insert product or service at the best possible price with the best possible service, blah, 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 value, blah, 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 customer satisfaction and innovation, blah, 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 leader in our industry. Am I right? Like, we've heard this statement before. It's got this picture of an eagle flying into the sunset, and it's posted right there in the break room so everybody can see it. Yeah, that's about it. Companies tend to make vision statements because they have to, right? They feel like it's something they should do. They feel like it's part of their business plan or part of whatever they do, but then they never reference them. They never pay attention to them. They don't create them with intention of understanding what they're really supposed to do in the first place. So I'm going to skip the poll because this is just a straight recording, and we're not going to do any polls for this. Let's go ahead and talk about Carl Jung. He said this: your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Okay. So he talks about vision being an emotional drive, something about your purpose. Who looks outside dreams, who look inside awakes. And that's what it's really about. Like, what is it inside of us that is going to motivate us to create a vision worth following? A vision is supposed to inspire us to focus on what matters. It is supposed to give us that purpose, that drive to focus on that thing that matters most to us and matters most to our audience. A vision provides clarity for the future while directing us to place our attention in the present. So a lot of present-oriented thinkers will go, that vision statement's just too lofty. It's too fluff. It's too way out there. We're never going to reach that. That has nothing to do with what we're supposed to be doing right now. Wrong. That vision statement is supposed to say, yes, that's where we want to go one day. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to achieve. So what do we have to do right now in order to get there? Okay. That's what a vision helps you do. A vision illuminates your way in periods of darkness. Think about that. 2020, there were some periods of darkness, right? Did your vision help you remember why you were there in the first place? Did it help you and inspire you to think about ways to push forward despite the hard things that were happening? A vision serves as a beacon for like-minded employees and clients. You want people to work for you that believe what you believe. You want people to to hire you that believe what you believe. You're going to have so much more alignment, so much more consistency and deliverability of that product if you do that. Vision builds culture, and culture is atmosphere. Okay. Culture, you can have a culture of one, you can have a culture of 1,000. It doesn't matter the amount of people. Your vision builds culture, and that atmosphere that you're building is going to propel you forward and help you overcome that thing that you are looking to overcome, that injustice you're looking to solve in the world. Vision gives your brand a soul. We have definitely interacted with companies where we're like, that company just felt empty, right? It's like going into one of those empty malls with one of those kind of fly-by-night stores that just doesn't believe anything. They're just there to sell me a thing. And what I want you to do is think beyond the thing. I want you to think about, what is it that you are looking to solve deep in your soul that is going to help people look at you and go, this person truly believes and is truly driven to do this thing. Let's talk about what not having a vision does. So without a vision, people become hopeless, right? They're like, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know where we're going. People are just floundering. They're just kind of doing their day-to-day task without any purpose, look out into the future. So they become hopeless. Hopeless people allow circumstances to dictate how they live because they're just like, I don't know. I'm just here, just doing my job. Whatever happens, happens. But being dictated to creates a victim mindset, which allows negativity to consume them. So what happens over time is they're just letting things happen to them, and then they start being affected by those things. Those things start acting upon them instead of them acting, right? So they're just becoming victims of their circumstance. Negative, hopeless people lose influence and create negative cultures. So from the leadership all the way down to the employee level, those people are losing influence. They're becoming negative. The negativity is permeating the culture, and negative cultures are like toxic greenhouses, which kills life in people, which makes people not want to work for you or buy what you have to offer. Negativity is what is that toxicity that causes people to leave. That's what causes high turnover, is things like that are going to hurt us in the long run. Helen Keller said this: the only thing worse than being blind is having sight and no vision. Having sight, but no vision. Okay. So we can all see, we've got the literal thing there, right? But no vision. Helen Keller, you could say, had vision. She didn't let her circumstances dictate who she was or how she lived. She had a vision for what she wanted to create for her life. This is the vision pyramid, and this is the way we build our vision. First, we start with values. These are the non-negotiables in our belief system, and those will never change. They're who we are. We can move from company to company to company to company, and our values will always be the same. Okay, that's our rock. That's that thing that is non-negotiable. Next, we focus on our purpose, and this is the reason we exist based on our values. So this is kind of your why, okay? You could talk a little bit of getting into your why statement. Later, some values might lead to different purpose through a different business. Your values don't change. They're your rock. They stay the same no matter what business you're in. You're selling snow cones or you're selling pharmaceuticals, whatever. But your purpose may change if you're selling snow cones versus pharmaceuticals. Your purpose may change a little bit based on those business ideas and what you're doing. Then your mission is how you choose to implement your purpose. Now, what I do is I work a little bit backwards at times through the mission. I kind of focus on values, then your purpose, then I kind of skip to vision, and then kind of talk about mission. And I'll explain that later on in the presentation. But your vision is what the end will look like if your values lead to a certain purpose. Okay, your values, your rock leads to that purpose whose mission my organization exists to fulfill. So your vision is going to be that end goal, that North Star, that thing way off in the future that is going to help you and drive you and keep you moving forward. And that mission is going to be how you do it every day. Okay. Your values, the rock, the purpose, a little bit getting into your why. Your vision is that big why, that big North Star, that big thing that you're looking to do in the world to make a difference. Your mission is the thing that's going to be the how. Okay. How are we going to achieve this vision? We'll go into some examples here in just a minute. So what keeps us from creating a strong vision statement? Number one is we have infinite options, right? We make choices based on what's in front of us. Creating a vision demands that we draw from infinite range of choices. There's a lot of things out there we could do and a lot of things that we want to do. And so we just kind of get overwhelmed and we don't choose anything. Visualization is a skill. Many of us stop exercising this muscle during childhood. So we stopped pretending, we stopped envisioning, we got very literal as adults. Now it feels uncomfortable to try to visualize our future. We fear we're not doing it right. As a kid, right? It was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be, so all these things, it's sky's the limit. We dream, okay, of things that we can be, the things that we can choose in our life, the impact we can make. But yet when we become adults, we stop that thinking because we become very literal about the things that are in front of us. It has to be perfect. The perfectionist in us tends to craft an ideal vision statement that's timeless, true for all eternity. Wow, that's scary for a perfectionist, right? What if it's not exactly right? What if we don't get this thing exactly right? Or what if we don't do this exact thing that we're supposed to do? That's scary, and I get it, right? It's that I am an internal perfectionist, and there's things in me that holds me back. So I want you to think about that. Why else we don't create vision statements? Because we're afraid. We're afraid we won't succeed at that thing we said we're going to do. And this is really hard for those people that rely on that are very dependable. Okay, their reputation hangs on the fact that they're dependable. They don't want to say something that they're afraid that they can't achieve. We question our competence, our ability to persevere. We're uncertain of our value. Are we worthy of dreaming big? Sometimes we think maybe this isn't the thing I should be doing, or maybe I don't deserve to do this thing. Maybe I just need to stick. Maybe I just need to hold back a little bit. I'm just going to hold back because that's safe, right? So we want to stay safe as opposed to thinking big and taking that risk. Let me ask you this. How many New Year's resolutions fail every year? So we're in January, we're getting to the end of January, and some of you made New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year. Some of you did not. Let's go ahead and talk about that. How many New Year's resolutions fail? Meaning people just stop. 92% of resolutions fail. 9 out of 10 people go, I'm out, right? New Year's resolution, I'm done with that. Because maybe there were too many options. They just couldn't focus. They gave themselves too many things to do. So they couldn't focus on it. They stopped exercising that visualization of who they could be later on, that journey of who they wanted to become. They just became hopeless. They became kind of defeated and frustrated. The perfectionism in them got to them. They couldn't overcome that perfectionist tendency. And maybe they just didn't set one, or maybe they, started it and they're like, I don't know if I'm going to succeed. And then I'm just not going to tell anybody I'm doing this. Then I don't have to worry about being a failure. And so that is a problem. So a lot of people, they say, well, I can't fail if I don't try. Oh, okay. If I don't try, if I don't set a goal, if I don't set a vision, if I don't set these things, if I don't define them, then I can't fail at them, right? So that's kind of this false narrative that we have in our brain. Let's go back to perfectionism. And the perfectionism may be the reason why we are afraid to act on some of these things. So perfectionism does this. It magnifies your mistakes and minimizes your progress. It maximizes mistakes because all we do is say, we focus on the 10% that did not get done right instead of the 90% that did. We focus on the wrong things. We don't take time to celebrate the good. We're constantly working on how to improve the bad, right? And this is a natural tendency of mine. And some of you also are nodding your heads that this is a natural tendency of yours, that you need to understand what that does and how that works against you in order to create the vision that you need to create. Because this is what is going on in your brain. Your perfectionist tendencies and the things in your life, you make New Year's resolution. We'll just go back to New Year's resolution. You make New Year's resolutions and you make them over and over and over again. And what happens is that you don't meet them. You don't meet them. You don't meet them. So they become wadded up pieces of paper in your trash can that these are broken promises to yourself. So what do is you stop making promises, right? You've burned yourself too many times. And now you're like, I'm not going to worry about that anymore. If I don't make the promises, then I'll never break them. And I don't have to worry about looking at this giant hamper trash can full of broken promises to myself. And that causes this defeatism. So what I want you to think about is how you can continue to shoot for the stars, because what perfectionists say is shoot for the moon. Perfectionists and perfectionism says shoot for the moon. Okay. Because shooting for the stars is a waste of time. You'll never make it. It's too far off into the future. You're crazy for thinking you can do that. These stars out here, they're too little. You'll never get there, right? Just shoot for the moon. It's close. It's big. You can see it, right? And it's easy. Like we've been there before, So do that. That's safe, okay? But that's not what a vision statement's supposed to do. A vision statement's supposed to do all those things I talked about earlier. It's supposed to drive us and push us and inspire us and align us. It's supposed to do all of those things first. This is what we call the organizational clarity sheet. And there's scores in each one of these boxes that you're supposed to write down of 1 to 10 of how well you do these various things. And it starts with leadership. Are the roles and responsibilities clear in every circle? Do you know and live your values? Is it clear and compelling, your vision and your mission? Strategy, how do you win? Team culture. So once we have these things at the top, we have leadership, we have a vision, mission, and values, right? Some kind of foundation. And how do we win? Then we get into, do we have healthy atmospheres that are going to help us grow in our team culture? Do we have the right people, systems, and capital in place in our structure? Do we have the right designs, right? I come from a design background, and it's design adds credibility and quality to your message and to the products that you're delivering. And tactics, how do you get this out to the world? Now, too many of us focus on this first. We flip this upside down and we start our business, or we roll into our business or a new campaign, and we start looking at our tactics immediately. We just go to tactics, our day-to-day grind. And that is false. What we really need to be doing is flipping this, starting with all of these things first: the strategy, the long-term picture, the foundation of where we want to go, because sometimes our tactics are going to fail, and that's okay. our tactics are going to fail. What happens when they fail? Do we get discouraged and say, that's it? I'm just going to bow out. I'm not going to do this anymore. This is pointless. Or do we look back at our vision, our strategy, our values, our culture and structure, and look at all these things and say, okay, that tactic failed. That's okay. We're still on the right path. Our vision is going to keep us on the right path. Our strategy is going to keep us on the right path. We've got the right team. We can do this. We just have to rethink the way we're packaging what we're doing. Okay. That's the way I want you to. Now, what I'd like you to do at some point in time, pause this, do whatever, and go ahead and score yourself in each one of these boxes. Okay. Strategy doesn't have one. I forgot to put one there. Whoops. Score yourself 1 to 10 in each one of these. 1, you're doing horrible in it. 10, you're awesome, right? And think about where you need improvement as you go throughout this journey. So do you have a vision for 2020? You know what? That is not what that's supposed to say. There you go. I just changed it right on the spot. 2021. Do you have a vision for 2021? If you don't, let's work on that together. Okay. Joel Baker has the coolest title. He is called a futurist. And he said this, and this is going to resonate with different audiences. Okay. Vision without action is only a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. Vision with action can change worlds. This speaks to the two very different mindsets. Okay. We have future thinking people and we have present thinking people. And this is how it boils down. Okay. So your present oriented people makes up roughly 70% of the population are your present oriented thinkers. Your future oriented thinkers make up the other 30% or so of people, of their mindset, how they process information and how they think. Now, a lot of your present oriented thinkers are going to go, that vision is a waste of time. It's only a dream. Okay. Without action, it's just you visionaries. All you do is dream all day. We need to get to work. But your visionaries will look back at your action people and say, your future people will look at your present people and say, hold on a second. But all you do, your action people, you just pass the time. All you're doing is spinning your wheels. You're just in your day-to-day grind. Why are you even here? But vision, the future people, combined with action, the present people, are what are going to change worlds. Not going to do a poll, but we're going to get to some examples. All right. So Southwest, let's talk about this. Their vision statement is to become the world's most loved, most flown, and most profitable airline. Now, will Southwest ever become the world's most loved, most flown, and most profitable airline? Probably not. Okay. But this is their vision, something that they may not ever achieve, but something they're continuously striving for. And everything they do has to be aligned with being the most loved, most flown, most profitable airline, whatever that vision is and whatever that task is to get that vision done. Now, most loved, think about this statement. You're immediately, I can probably guarantee that most of you are thinking that the world's most loved is just by customers. But I want you to think about this. What about the internal? What about their employees? They didn't say employees, most loved by employees or most loved by customers. It encapsulates both employees and customers. So that's what I want you to think about. Now, the mission statement is how they're going to do that. Okay. This is the why, and this is the how. Dedicated to the highest quality customer service, delivered with a sense of warmth, friendliness, individual pride, and company spirit. So that is how they are going to deliver on this vision statement. Nike, to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. If you have a body, you are an athlete. They believe in every person being an athlete. And they talk about, in their vision statement, they boiled it down to these two words, inspiration and innovation. And they were very careful about choosing these words. Inspiration being the aspirational athlete, being the thing, the dream of what you want to become as an athlete. They want to help you get there. Innovation talks specifically about product. Okay. So they talk about the dream, the emotional state, and then they talk about the tactical, the logical, the product, the thing that you can touch and hold that is going to help you get to that point. Now, their mission, so this is the why. The mission is to create groundbreaking sports innovations, make our products sustainably, build a creative and diverse global team, and make a positive impact in communities where we live and work. It's a longish mission statement, but that is kind of what they want to do. Those are the things that they can look at every day and say, did I do these things today? So they can look at this and think about that. Okay. Ted, we believe passionately in the power of ideas to change attitudes, lives, and ultimately the world. They didn't say anything about live events. They didn't say anything about, filming these videos. They didn't talk about 20-minute videos to inspire the world. Like, we believe passionately in the power of ideas. Okay. Bringing ideas, attitude to change attitudes, lives, and ultimately the world. They want to impact the world. And I can say they probably have had a pretty big impact on the world. And what's their mission? How are they going to do that? Spread ideas. Coolest mission statement. Not very specific. Pretty cool though, because we get it. Spreading ideas. They are a viral institution in the sense that they spread through word of mouth. They spread through the social media and through the internet. Really, really powerful vision and mission statement from Ted. IKEA, to create a better everyday life for the many people. I was like, the many people, that doesn't make much sense, but that's true. That's what they say. Now, I don't know if there's a translation flaw in there or not, but that's how they say the many people. And we can talk about what the many people means. But it's really to create a better everyday life. So they want their products, their tools, their solutions to help you in your everyday life. And how are they going to do that? Through their mission. Offer a wide range of well-designed, functional home furnishing products at prices so low that as many people as possible will be able to afford them. As many people. This is where the many people comes from in their vision statement. You see how these are tying together? That as many people as possible will be able to afford them to create a better everyday life for the many people. That's really smart. So I want you to think about this. Many people, not this, I'm saying you, many people out there confuse vision and mission statements. They're not the same thing. Vision statements are the why, mission statements are the what or the how we're going to achieve that vision statement. Tesla, to accelerate the world's transition to a sustainable energy. They didn't say anything about cars. They didn't say anything about that in their vision statement. To accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy is their vision statement. That's big. That can incorporate a lot of different products, right? They could go into, I don't know, solar energy, right? There's all types of things they could do with this vision statement that gives them this big picture goal of what they want. The mission is to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicles. Now, this is a bit more specific, okay? This is how they're going to achieve this transition to sustainable energy. So while we get the big picture goal of sustainability, and that's what they're really trying to do, that's the end vision, the end goal. How they're going to do that is through the cars, right? Through the things that they produce as an automobile to help us get to this point. So I hope you can see through these examples what the point is of a vision statement and a mission statement. Now, what I want you to do is take, we're going to go through a few exercises here. And I'm going to go through them pretty quick because we're not doing this live right now. I want you to go through these exercises, hit pause as I go through each one of them and write down your answers. And we'll talk about them a little bit more at the end. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is imagine that each word costs $1 million. Okay. That means I do not want a lot of words unless you have a lot of money. Even then, I don't want you to use a lot of words, okay? I want you to be simple. Look, Southwest, simple. Nike, simple. TED, simple. IKEA, simple. Tesla, simple, right? We can count the number of words on our fingers that they used in their vision statement. So do not use a lot of words. First exercise, I believe statements. I want you to finish this statement, I believe. Okay. And I want you to write 2 to 3 lines. Don't say anything about what you do. I don't want anything about your product. I want this belief. I believe everyone should have access to blank. I believe the world needs something like this. I believe we need to be better in this. I believe there's too many people suffering from this. It can be kind of that injustice that you're looking to solve in the world. It could be that goal, that aspirational thing you're looking to achieve. I believe this. Okay. Pause if you need to. Finish those statements. Next question I want you to answer is, what makes your heart hurt? What's that thing that in your industry or from past client or from new clients that come to you who have maybe suffered from another experience with somebody else, a competitor or whatever, they come to you and they say, hey, oh, well, yeah, I was worth this other company and they did this to me and they treated me this way, or they did they tried to solve my problem this way. I want you to think about what makes your heart hurt. And that you look at that and you're like, that hurts me so bad. I hate to hear that. You're right. Like, what is that thing that makes your heart hurt when you think about your industry or the injustice in the world that you're trying to solve? Okay. Pause and fill that out. Number 2 or 3, third question, what makes your heart beat faster? What gets you excited? What gets you up in the morning to want to go in and go to work? And maybe not even go to work. What just gets you excited to get up every day? Think about that big picture. What gets you excited? What gets you excited to go talk to people? What gets you excited to go out there and want to motivate somebody or encourage somebody or educate or do what motivates you? What gets you jazzed? Okay. Answer that question. All right. Now answer this one. What would the world be losing if you went away? Okay. I'm not going to get morbid and say if you died, although we can think about that. Actually, one of the exercises I do, and you could think about doing the exercise this way too. If you want to take a minute, write a short 1 paragraph, few sentence obituary for yourself or for your company, okay, of what the world would be losing, okay? Because what an obituary does is it celebrates the big, impactful things that somebody did in their life, okay? It doesn't talk about the little tiny things. It talks about the big picture things that we've lost because this person is no longer with us. Think about that. Think about you or think about your company and what would the world be losing if you went away? Think about that. Now, what all of these exercises are doing, I believe statements, I believe this, okay? This goes a little bit to your values, okay? A little bit to that, your purpose, that we're going to we would define these. If I was coaching you, we would define these and kind of work through them together. What makes your heart hurt? This is, again, that thing that you're looking to achieve, that goal. Maybe you're trying to look to overcome someday. What makes your heart beat faster? The thing that gets you jazzed, the things that get you excited. That's going to help define maybe your mission a little bit. What would the world be losing if you went away? This is something that we need to understand because as a company or as a person, you need to know that you have something to provide and people need that. You can serve people, okay, with the thing that you have, the gift that you've been given. You can serve people with that. All right. The exercise now, the way we kind of bring this together is starting out with this template. This takes a lot of revision. This takes a lot of thought. This takes a lot of kind of moving things around. But what I want you to start with is this statement. Now, it doesn't have to end up this way. A lot of these statements of examples I did at the top here didn't have this format, but I like to start out with this format, and I'll tell you why. So if you start out with this format, it's we will blank by blank, okay? We will do this by doing this, and this. Now, if we go back and talk about Tesla, okay, you could take this framework of we will accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy by, and then we get to the mission statement, creating the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's trend. So they have another by in here. We could do this. We will create a better everyday life for the many people by offering a wide range of full, well-designed, functional home, blah, 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 right? You see what I'm getting at here? This template, we will help you kind of serve the vision and the mission statement, but I want you to think about this big picture and try to be concise, try to be focused, and go through this criteria. Once you get done with this statement, can you look and say, is this future focused? Is it directional? Is it relevant and purpose driven? Is it values-based? Is it challenging? Is it inspiring? So if we take this, I'm going to go back. I'm going to copy and paste this live. You ready? Boom. Let's work on this. All right. Let's talk about Tesla to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Is it future-focused? Yeah, because we're not really there yet. Is it directional? Yeah, it's going into the future. That's what we're trying to do. Is it relevant and purpose-driven? Yes, because that goes deep down into what they believe. Is it values-based? I don't really know their values, but I'm assuming it is. Is it challenging? Yeah, it's a big challenge. Is it inspiring? Yes. For the people that work for Tesla or the people that buy Tesla, they believe in this. They believe what Tesla believes. And of course, they make beautiful cars as well, but they believe in that and they want to achieve that. So it inspires them and they want to be part of the movement. So I hope this helps. I hope you can create a vision worth following. That's what we're trying to do. Don't create the eagle flying into the sunset with a bunch of corporate jargon that nobody cares about and nobody feels. Create a vision worth following that will sustain you and that will help you move forward into the future. There's a resource here that I provide all of my webinar attendees and all my contacts, and it's free. There's an assessment. And the reason why I want you to think about this assessment right now is because some of you, like I said, are future oriented and some of you are present oriented. And we call that, we all have a different voice, okay? And we call these the 5 voices. And you've got 3 voices that are very future oriented: pioneers, connectors, creatives. And those 3 voices are going to be pretty good at the visionary stuff. They're going to feel comfortable in the visionary stuff, but they're not going to be very good at the action, the task stuff. You've got nurturers and guardians on the other side that are very present oriented and they think in the now. And these two, remember, they have to work together. Remember what Joel Baker said, okay? About a vision without action is only a dream, and action without vision only passes the time. But vision with action changes worlds. And that's what we want to do, is make sure that we have the vision and the action. If you want to take this assessment, find out your voice, find out your tendency. Are you good at the present oriented stuff, the future oriented stuff? It's free. Like I said, it takes about 15 minutes. You can go to giant.tv/5voices/30 days. And you'll get free forever access to Giant TV and be able to take that assessment and find out more. Now, not only that, but Giant provides hundreds of plus hours of video content about leadership development, company culture, working with your team, expectations, all those things that are going to help you thrive as a leader and a team. So I hope you'll take advantage of this. It's a beautiful resource. It's like Netflix for leadership development. I hope that you will grab on to that tool. So I want to thank you. Again, I'm sorry about the technical hang up on this. I hope that everybody enjoyed this, and I hope that you do enjoy this in the future, because I know that many of you will be seeing this not live. So thank you for that. If you want to get in touch with me, if you want to share your vision statement with me and get some feedback on it, I'm totally cool with doing that. Email me at scott@scottwaldron.com and you can get some feedback from me. I would love to help you out. It's a tough journey. This isn't always easy, and it takes some thought. So take some time, work on this, work on your business, not always in your business. Take time to work on your business. And I hope that this was helpful. Thank you, everybody, for attending, and I will see you next time. Thanks.